What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Hockeytown University. You are here with me once again, Zach, and his lovely co-host Derek and Matt. What is going on, boys? How are you?
Living the dream as always, Zach. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Honestly, it's actually gorgeous outside right now, but we are inside and we get to enjoy the AC right now because I think spring's here. I'm not too sure. It's Michigan, so we're a little bipolar here, so I might go back to a snowstorm in like a month. I don't know. Look out for late June. We might get some snow.
Been there, done that for sure. What about you, Leslie?
Oh, what about me? Yeah, it's warm here too. The sun is out, the birds are chirping. Uh yeah, we're in our shorts right now. It's very nice. It's very nice weather in Michigan. I absolutely love it. I would love it to stay like this, but we know how Michigan is. It probably won't. But that's okay too because we're used to it and we can't really complain because it happens every year. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Definitely still have a hangover from the lottery. It's kind of a teeny tiny hangover now, but I guess that's kind of pathetic if I still have a hangover 3 days after it ended. And I don't even know why I have one because I didn't think we'd win it anyways. But oh well, here we are. I'll pop some Aleve for the next episode if I still have one.
Yeah, yeah, the hangover lasted the next day for me too. It sucks, but it is what it is. Here in Holy Toledo, my car said it was 79 degrees today. It's hot. I think spring's here. It can go away now,
You're probably
honestly.
right.
It's way too hot. I like a nice brisk like 74, give me a nice little breeze. That's perfect for me and the dogs when we play. So
I think you're
I just
asking
like
for
that.
a lot right now since we just got out of a snowstorm like 2 weeks ago.
And we'll probably be one in 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
it's what
usually
we get.
happens.
So welcome back, everyone. We really do appreciate it for those that are returning. For those of you that are new, we really do appreciate you guys joining us. If you guys could, make sure you're subscribing. For everyone who is watching today's video, make sure you are smashing that like button. Derek's little octopus there will grow a smile and do a nice
He
little
looks like
dance.
he's smiling already. Actually,
Yeah, I
Can't
couldn't
really make me
tell.
smile. Yeah,
he's
he's
like
just
he
happy
has
to
an
be here,
angry
okay?
smile.
So, what do we have going on today's episode? Well, I'm sure you read it in the title that we are doing a 2023 NHL mock draft, full first round predictions, post lottery. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. All right. So, the rules are it's only a first round mock. So, we're only doing picks from 1 from 32. Since it is post lottery, we already know who holds all the picks except for all the playoff teams. So the order is set currently based on what it is, and we can't change it until the playoffs end. So, who had the first pick?
That would
That
be
would be
me.
Matt. Derek had the
That would
second
be
pick,
me.
and Zach has the third pick. So then, no snake draft. We're just going to go in that order. So then Leslie will then pick fourth as well. And so let's jump right into it, boys. All right, Leslie, you're on the clock, buddy.
Hit us with your best shot, baby.
Well, I have the misfortune this episode of having to choose for the Chicago Blackhawks, so I pass. No, I'm just kidding. They're gonna take Connor Bedard, and they don't deserve him whatsoever. But whatever. There we go.
Good pick by the Blackhawks, I think. My personal opinion.
Yeah, no
Okay.
Yeah,
kidding.
great. Congratulations, guys. Whatever. Go right ahead, Derek.
Well, I definitely have a lot less to say about the Anaheim Ducks than Matt does about the Chicago Blackhawks,
It's
but
probably a good
everyone
thing.
knows there's a crap ton to say about them. But Anaheim is getting silly for Mr. Fantilli. Toss him up there, Zach. We all know he's going second. The captain of the University of Michigan, Canadian native, 6'2", 190 pounds. Boy could get tossed right in the lineup right off the bat. Enough said.
Well,
Nice.
that's an understatement.
All right. Well, the Columbus Blue Jackets are definitely sad that they did not get the second overall pick. Most definitely sad that they did not get the first overall pick. I think that they like what they can select third overall. I've been seeing a lot of different things. I'm really torn myself. Oh, they're
What's
gonna
it
go
gonna
Leo.
be?
I think they're gonna go Leo Carlson. I think they just can't pass it up, and then they could just wait on him for a little bit if he wants to stay in Sweden for a year. So, and they kind of screwed up the Sharks' plans because they like Swedes too. So,
Who doesn't like a good Swede nowadays? Let's be honest.
Well, I can tell you that
Some
Steve
great
Eisman
Swede.
definitely loves a good Swede,
Oh, yes, he does.
and he's very upset that he can't get Leo Carlson in this draft.
yep. All right.
But
Fourth.
actually, that being said, I now have the San Jose Sharks pick, but I'm gonna take Michkov here. I think, like I said, they're playing the long game, and Michkov in 3 years, he's gonna be a superstar probably. I mean, in that point, will it be 21 or 20? I don't actually know what age he is right now, but yeah, I really think that Michkov will be their next franchise player.
All right, Derek.
Pretty nice to see that all these top 10 picks that we're about to say most likely will be a top 6 player on any team they go to.
Probably.
It's a beautiful thing. You don't get this in too many drafts. But you know the Canadians are pretty happy with what they're about to get still because he's still up on the board. The one, the only, the famous actor Will Smith, come on up and slap Chris Rock in the face because you're going to the Canadians, baby. All day, every day, that wonder over there, the person who can do pretty much everything and has the mindset of a 30-year-old playing an 18-year-old's body for the game of hockey and can shoot and can skate. The Canadians got to steal with this guy right here, boys.
I think it's safe to say after this pick that Chris Rock is not going to be a Montreal fan.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately not.
No, he's probably not watching the NHL draft either. But I think it would be hilarious when Will Smith gets
Never
picked
know.
and he goes up on stage and he pretends to slap Gary Bettman in the face.
Oh, why
That'd
not?
be
Why
hilarious.
Why pretend?
Just
I'll get his jersey instantaneously if he walks up there, slacks him in the face, and takes the Canadian jersey and puts it on. I'm like, I will get your jersey. Thank you.
Gary Bettman calls his name and he just stands up and goes, "Keep my name out your mouth!"
so
and then slaps him.
So
and
the
everyone
Arizona
cheers.
Coyotes pick sixth. I think they're a little sad that Will Smith isn't there. The Arizona Coyotes are going with right-handed defenseman David Reinbacher.
Oh,
Ooh, Reinbacher already.
you just stole my next pick.
Yeah, I don't think that they need any more wingers. And then Leslie, I think it was the last mock draft we did that you said that they have Logan Cooley. I can't remember. So they don't really
Yes,
have
sir.
too many defensemen. So I think that they're just going to go David Reinbacher here. So they're pretty happy with him. That's the first defenseman off the board. It's kind of a reach. But I don't think they like the options that would be available at 12. Seeing that David Reinbacher and Axel Sandin Pellikka might be off the board by 12. So we'll just have to wait and see. Who knows?
Just to slowly comment on that one, Zach, everything I've looked at lately actually has both of them going mostly 13 and 14. But it's Reinbacher, so I do think he's going to go top 10, so I think everything I'm looking is wrong.
Well, that would be very interesting if they both went outside the top 10, because I can't think of any recent draft that didn't have at least one defenseman in the top 10.
It was since
I mean-
2003 was the last time, I believe.
Yeah, 20 years ago. I don't
that's
think
kind of
history's going to
weird.
repeat itself. I
And
mean, it's definitely true
Reinbacher's-
that
Yeah, Reinbacher's the biggest one too, so they're definitely swinging
Mm-hmm.
for the size. So that's a big reason for it, and the fact that he's right-handed defenseman, so that comes with the premium price tag in its own just by being that. So, yeah.
Well, if I'm Danny Briere of the Philadelphia Flyers, I am very upset that you did that because Reinbacher is literally the perfect pick that they need. I mean, their defense is absolute hot trash, dog
They need
water, hot
everything.
dog water. It's very bad.
They need everything.
Just kind of looking at the board right here, it's kind of tough to see what they might do. I mean, Philadelphia is really a wild card of a team, so I can't even really accurately predict what they're going to do. I think the next guy available, and you're probably going to hate this, Zach, since you're picking for the Red Wings. I think Ryan Leonard really fits their profile. A really big, versatile scoring winger. I think he's a perfect Philadelphia pick. And yeah, there's going to be not a dry eye in Detroit, Michigan when he gets picked because, my God, I want him on the Red Wings. He is just so. I just love him. I don't know. I like every time I do a mock draft or I like think about who I want at number 9 and who might be available, I always flip flop between him and Perot. And I think recently I kind of lean more towards Leonard at our spot. But yep, I got Philly taking him here.
Yeah, I've seen Philly in a lot of mock drafts on Cap Friendly going with Leonard. I've seen Leonard as high as 5 to the Canadians
Oh,
even
that's way too high.
in some mocks. But that's the thing. We say that, but we don't know these GMs and these teams what they're
No, we
seeing and
don't.
what they actually need. And it's easy for us to go on their Cap Friendly pages or on Elite Prospects and see what they have in their systems. But us as Red Wings fans, I mean, I don't know too much about Philadelphia and its prospect pool. I don't. Same thing with the Canadians. They very much uh, could not take Will Smith. They could take David Reinbacher there. I've seen that too. You just never know.
I
Who's
mean,
next?
we are just dummies in our rooms who have no idea, and we're just guessing on what we hope is the best situation for these teams.
Well, I don't know where you ever got that idea, Derek, because I'm pretty sure we're all professionals here.
Oh, did I say that? Zach, cut that part out and just leave in this part. We're good. We're professionals. I have certificates. I have degrees.
All right,
That's
make
all
that
we
pick
need.
for the Caps, buddy.
Oh, the Caps. The team I really don't care that much about that shouldn't be in front of the Red Wings since they won a cup just a few years ago, but they're above us right now. Woo. So the Washington Capitals are taking the 6 foot, 200-pound tank of a Slovakian, Dvorsky. Toss him up there. I know he might not be Russian, but I say it's a pretty close pick coming from the Capitals.
It's close enough. Same colors on the flag. That
I
is
agree.
that is such a Capitals pick right there, Dvorsky.
I mean,
That is
it's
Capitals
just
written
like
all
it
over it.
stares you in the face. You see this the name alone, and it's like, okay, yep, you're just gonna go to the Capitals. Maybe the next Ovi. Let's see what happens.
I don't think he's going to be the next Ovi, but what I put on here is that Ovi gets his next center. I think they like Dalibor Dvorsky here. His
And
skating
Dvorsky's just
needs
an
a little.
all-around good player. He has like the both sides. I think what he finished 40 and 40, like 45 and 45 this year. So great playmaker, great goal scorer. He put him in any position you need, and Capitals will be pretty happy.
So I'm not up next. Red Wings at 9.
Ooh, what are we doing? What are our
And
boys
then
getting? I mean, there's this nice crystal sandwich you could get.
Zach, this is a conscious pick, bro.
I think they're going Gabe Perreault, and only because your expectation with Gabe Perreault is that him and I need to confirm this real quick. I actually don't know if he's a left or right-handed shooting player,
Right wing,
but
baby.
no, I know that that says that, but hold on.
He shoots left.
Yeah. So
Ignore
you're gonna
me,
play
everybody.
so you're gonna play him on the left wing on the top line eventually with Larkin and Raymond. So that's your top line is Perot, Larkin, and Raymond. I think that's fine. If not, you can have Rasmussen continue playing on that top line. I think that top line does need a little bit of height on it. And then you can have Gabe Perot as your second line left winger. I don't know. I think you have a lot of options there with him, but I think that's the pick. If not, then you would probably go Zach Benson. But I think they want to go a little bit bigger. But I think the Red Wings might regret that. But we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, the only problem we'll have is Zach Benson literally throws on 30 pounds by the time he comes to the NHL, then I'll be a little upset. I'll be like, okay, might have lost out on something there. But I highly doubt that's going to be what he does. So we have a few years till we have to regret that decision.
I think if you have a player at number 9 who surpassed Austin Matthews' production with the U18 team at the development program, you're kind of insane not to take him. Kind of insane to pass on him. I mean, there's just all the upside in the world there. Like, these forwards have shown that size in the NHL, if you're skilled enough, doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it still matters, but it doesn't matter like it used to. I think Pro is a fantastic pick. I mean, you guys know I'm in love with him, so I don't even need to keep going into it.
I mean, not too much has changed since Sunday. I can say that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gay Pro is who we picked in our top 16 pre-lottery draft that we did. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go ahead and catch that one. I would say watch that one first before you finish this one, but since you're already a quarter way through, might as well stick out through this one and then watch the last one that we did on Sunday. So, all right, who's got St. Louis?
I believe that would be moi, Mr. Matthew Leslie.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna make this pick because I really don't see Benson falling out of the top 10, and I already think in our mock, I did say at the top of this episode this is gonna be 100% true. Maybe I have to take that back now because I kind of don't really see Zach Benson falling this far, but also at the same time, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with these GMs. I mean, a lot of these guys are wild cards. I don't even know what the hell Danny Briere is gonna do. He might go take a guy in the third round for all I know. But yeah, I'll take Zach Benson. Very
All right.
high scoring upside. St. Louis kind of strikes me as a team that wants to go for big swings now because they're kind of not really going into a full rebuild like a lot of the guys in the top 10. They're kind of just recognizing that their Stanley Cup core is over with, and they still have some good young players to build around. So I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, great pick by St. Louis, honestly. Yeah, he's falling due to size alone, and I think that's garbage. Yeah, I think even teams like the Red Wings might miss out on Zach Benson a little bit, but I think everyone at the end of the day is going to be happy with who they picked, and Zach Benson will be happy with St. Louis as well. Speaking of, Derek,
Speaking of, after St. Louis, what?
Well, that was your pick.
I, eh, that's true. Wait, I'm not St. Louis.
I'm saying this is your pick.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. I was like,
This
wait
is
a
like who's on
minute.
first.
Well, if this is my pick, obviously we're to go with the guy that I didn't think was going to drop out of the top 10 for us over here. We're going with Oliver Moore just because he's still standing.
I like that pick.
I
That
thought
could
he
be
might
like they could be a potential Bo Horvat replacement ever since they traded him away.
that's
That's
actually,
what I was thinking.
yeah.
No, sorry, Zach. Did I take what you were going to say?
No, no. What I was gonna say is no. I've seen even myself when I do my mock drafts on Cap Friendly, other drafts. I've seen a lot of different names, but I do think that they go with a right-handed defenseman to be behind um, Philip Hronek, and if they can't sign Philip Hronek long term, then that's who they have paired up with Quinn Hughes. Um, but they do need a replacement for Horvat. Oliver Moore, you're going to have to wait a year at least because he's going to be you or BC. Yeah, I like the pick. I like it. Honestly, yeah, that's their future maybe 1C, but a really good 2C. Next Larkin for sure. And so that's me with the Arizona Coyotes. Oh boy. So the Yotes we picked David Reinbacher for them. So if I was Arizona, and this is what's left, looking at it, let's scroll down here.
As I gotta get my old ass up and search a little closer so I can see what we got left. Ooh, I like number 7.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Edward Shala here for the Arizona Coyotes at pick 12. Just a
Where's
really
that
good
one?
shooter. One of the best shooters in the draft, honestly. Um, just kind of lazy on the compete a little bit, honestly, but maybe Arizona can fix that, or they can shelter him on a line where it's unnoticeable. Good pick
Oh,
by
you think
Arizona.
Arizona's gonna fix that? Come on. They're gonna trade him off in 2 years. Come on, let's be honest. They gotta stay at number 0.
All right, Buffalo.
All
Buffalo
right. I'm
Derek.
just picking for all the teams that are our rivals or we hate. So that was very nice of you to give me that assignment, Zach. Um, I think with Buffalo, they have a really stacked prospect cabinet. They have a lot of high octane forwards and a lot of good forwards in their roster too. I think a team like them would kind of want to bolster their defense a little bit. And I think a guy like Sandin Pellikka would be a perfect pairing for Rasmus Dahlin. That little Swedish connection right there, that's hard to pass up if he's there at 13. I mean, I've seen a lot of mocks, and I've also made a lot of mocks that don't have him out of the top 10. And I usually have him around like the Red Wings pick. I think he's a good pick for the Red Wings too. But yeah, if he's there at 13, you're running around that draft room. You're going to look like Brad Holmes after you drafted that running back. Shout out our Lions fans out there.
All right, Derek, you got your boys, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, maybe I was wrong because I didn't have to pick for them.
Yeah, I was going to say, Leslie, I don't know what you were complaining about. I would have much rather had Buffalo since you literally picked the person if I was Pittsburgh to pick. So now I got to do a little more research here. Who would be the next? Because obviously Pittsburgh needs help in all situations. They're old as crap. They're going to need some new forwards here soon, but they also have a terrible D. I think their D might be worse off right now because obviously they still got Sydney and they still got a couple other players on that team that are kind of worth their while. So we're going to go with a D, and I'm going to butcher this name. So I'm just going to say couple, like 3 of the letters in the middle. We're going yay. And Zach, I think you should know what that means.
I don't think he does.
Mikhail Guliev.
Thank you very much, Zach. You knew exactly where I was going with that because I wasn't going to try to say the name because I forgot how to say it.
He
I would have
just
been out of
said
luck.
yay.
Mikhail Yay.
That's all I'm putting here is yay.
Yay.
They need some D. That's probably the next best one in the draft order I can think of for right
That's
now.
the best left D in the draft, I think, right there. So
Probably.
They probably need the most help in that area, so we're going with yay on that one for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
it'll be interesting. Derek, yeah, taking the small defenseman here. I don't think they'll complain though. They got to take something eventually. They trade a lot of their picks away.
I mean, if you look at his point production alone, too, though, it's kind of crazy for a defenseman. I mean, I would tell you what he was playing with in the NHL, but I could not say that out loud. But he was over a point per game player just there alone.
Derek, can I try it?
Yeah, buddy, go right ahead.
I always love trying to pronounce the Russian names. Is it Omsky Yastrebi?
Yes, Leslie, that's exactly how you pronounce
Nice.
it. And if anyone wants to dispute that, I'm pretty sure you might have to be Russian. So
You know what?
What?
Looking at his playoff numbers, that's actually pretty good numbers for a guy that young. I mean, this is the minor league in Russia, but that's pretty decent production in the playoffs. So there could be something there.
I'm next
gotta hope.
with the 15th pick for
Yes,
the
sir.
Nashville Predators. Let's see here. What do we got left up on the board, boys? Have fun with a Braden Yeager. Hopefully he can pan out. If not, he's pretty toolsy. They got him listed here for left and right wing too. So you like a good Swiss tool knife if you can get one.
Okay. So at number 16, the Calgary Flames. If you could scroll up for me there, Zach, I would appreciate it so I can see my options.
No, you have to go
Ah.
straight off of memory, Leslie.
Aha. Okay. I'm flip-flopping between a couple players right there. Actually, 3 players right there. This is interesting. I really don't know much about Calgary's prospects. I think they kind of lean more towards forwards. And yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I think Calgary, they're kind of in like a weird situation, almost in like a no man's land where they have no coach and GM right now. So this is literally the biggest question mark that we have in this mock draft because we don't even know who's going to pick in June yet. But I think just for this, I'm just going to take the best player available. I'll take Matthew Wood. I'm actually a little surprised that he's down here at 16. I would have thought one of you boys would have taken him, but that's okay. I just get to take him anyways. Yeah, he's the youngest player in college hockey, playing on UConn, and he was almost a point per game as a 17-year-old and led his team in points. That's kind of insane for a 17-year-old. I mean, I don't even remember what I think I was delivering pizzas at 17. I don't even remember.
Glory
And
days right there.
spending my days at the public pool, which is now gone, and I think it got turned into condos or something, so that's a little sad. But yeah, I think Matthew Wood's a good pick there. Probably the highest upside guy left outside of one guy who I won't name because you guys would probably take him, but that's what I'm gonna get.
All right, Derek, Canadians.
The Canadians pick Andrew
The
Crystal.
Canadian, they move higher.
100%.
Andrew Crystal.
You can. The fact that he dropped this far actually does surprise me a little bit too, with his point production that he did in the WHL for the last couple of years. Pretty insane numbers to get picked at 17, so I think Calgary is going to be pretty happy with that left wing right there.
Yeah, Crystal, he's got high skill. I mean, he's got a really great shot. Good compete. His skating, I mean, he's got cinder blocks for feet. I mean, he literally looks like
Yeah,
Bambi just came out the room when he fucking skates, dude. It's bad.
That's a guy you throw in front of the net. Stay in this area. You got the hands to get around people. Fight in the corners. Get it out front. Try to move it around a little bit. But my God, please don't skate it down the ice, because Jesus, you don't look good doing it.
Which,
Please
you know what,
prove me
Derek?
wrong in the
That's
future.
actually a pretty good strategy what you can do with him, because he does have really good edge work. He can kind of move laterally across the ice pretty well, but yeah, his straightaway speed is awful. His stride looks like he pooped himself and he's trying to skate off the ice to find a bathroom to change his pants. It's just not very good at all. That being said, he is extremely skilled. I think if you can figure out his skating, which I think at this point you probably won't, but maybe it'll improve, you might have a player on your hands. I think I said on previous episodes I could really see him as like a power play specialist. Put him in front of the net, good things will happen. So yeah, he definitely strikes me as the type of player you won't take unless you have 2 first-round picks. You want to kind of swing big on one.
All right. So I have Red Wings next at 18. Just a little fun one here. The Red Wings will bump up that pick to 17 if the Panthers defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs in the second round of the playoffs to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They are just 1 win away after losing to the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. The series is 3-1. So no kitty cats in 4, unfortunately, for us hoping for that to happen. But if the yeah, let's see. Who are the Red Wings going to take? I don't think they're really upset that Crystal isn't there anymore, although that is a high winger that they definitely could have utilized. And we all know Steve Yzerman here. We know that he loves to reach on players. I think he's going to Sweden, and he is going to pick up a nice Tom Willander right D.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
who? Who did you just give to the Red Wings?
Uh-huh. Okay. I mean,
Let me go
yeah.
find this guy way down here in the second round real quick.
So I would like this move only if they took a center with their first pick, because I think they still really need a center. I think there's kind of some underrated centers in the second round that you probably could get. I mean, you have 3 picks in a row in the second round, so you're definitely going to come away with 1 center, I would hope. But Willander, it would be really funny if he plays with Wallander, Willie Wally line, a dub line. I would like that. Let's just take him just because of that.
Yeah, I think you had a bunch of different options here. I think Yzerman is going for the reach, but he really likes this pick. I think your hope is that Tom Willander, yeah, he plays in your top 4. I think instantly he played in top line, top pairing for Team Sweden at the tournament for the U18s, who looked phenomenal. They went to golds. Um, Yzerman loves the Swedes. They've probably been watching this boy for quite some time, honestly. So yeah, I think that's the pick, and I don't think that they're too upset about it. That's their guy. Some people are going to say it's a reach all they want, but It was either that or Lucas Dragicevic. I hear your case on center. Um, yeah, I think that they just might find some in the second round that they might like better there. Who knows? Like I said at the start too, I don't think that the center is as pressing as a lot of people like to preface it is for the Red Wings. Um, like I said, they have a bunch of wingers that can play center too. So they got Larkin and Casper right now, and they can take centers upcoming drafts as well. So who's next
That would be Leslie.
for Winnipeg?
Okay, I'm picking for Winnipeg. Okay. So, okay, Colby Barlow's still there. I'm going to take Colby Barlow. That's actually insane that he's still there. There you go. There's the pick. I just looked and I was like, how the hell is he still on the board? That dude does nothing but score goals, and he's a grown man right now, too. I mean, that is a big boy right there. So, yeah, what is he at? 6'1", 190 pounds? That guy could step in right away. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest.
I wouldn't argue with that. That's the kind of the pick I would expect. If the Red Wings, like you said, would went with a center in the first round, maybe they would have went with this guy here, because I fully am positive that he would be left over for us to pick at 18. But hey, it's a good pick for Winnipeg at 19, so can't argue that one at all.
I would like to point out that Colby Barlow is a winger, not a center.
I said if we picked a center with our first one.
Oh, well, okay. I thought you said he could be a good option at center. I don't listen to you, Derek, and that's my problem.
All right,
That's
Derek.
something that happen with a lot of people, and I think it's just my face. But
All right,
I
Derek.
gotta work with it.
You're next with Chicago, buddy.
Well, I am gonna go with the one that I actually thought Zach would have picked for the Red Wings pick at 18. We got Dragicevic out there still. 6 to 180-pound D. Boy, lit it up on Tri-City with 75 points in 68 games. Do we have our next silky-haired, what's his name? Eric Carlson?
I
Because
thought you were going to say Sider, and then you went to Carlson. I was like, what?
I'm looking at the offensive defenseman right now.
Gotcha.
Sider, very much so that, but not as much as Carlson right now.
I do really like Dragicevic. It's not very often you see a defenseman at his age over a point per game. So that's definitely something special right there. I would also like him at 18, but now that I look at Willander's stats, I like Willander a lot, and I also think that he's a guy where if you just say, oh, he's going to be there in the second round, he probably won't. He might get picked late first. I mean, he's a really underrated defenseman right there. Plus, it would just be really fun to watch Ken Daniels and Mika Redmond have brain aneurysms when Willander and Wallander are playing. It was hard for me to even say that sentence.
So Seattle Kraken are up next, and they. All right. Oh boy.
Who's the next crackhead?
Yeah, I think the next crackhead, honestly, is just going to be who is left up top at the board, and I'm just going to go with what Cap Friendly has, and they're going to go with Riley Heidt. Another Swiss Army tool knife right there, a little bit on the smaller side, but that's okay. That's a team that's built on just pure second line talent only, so that's another player that they're just adding to the cup board like there. So, yeah, Riley Heidt.
Yeah, I really think Riley Heidt's value is he puts up a lot of points right now in what league is he playing in? The WHL right now. Just the fact that he can play pretty much any position means he'll be a pretty important prospect for the Seattle Kraken. And if you're a young team like that doesn't really have that much to speak of in the way of roster players and prospects, that's a good one to pick. He can do pretty much anything you need him to.
I said top six. I meant middle six. My bad, everyone. Middle six.
He could be top six too. I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably his ceiling, honestly.
No, yeah, he could play top line, but I think it's going to be a situation where he's not meant to be, but he can fill that spot if an injury were to happen. So, for sure. Yeah. Who's next?
Definitely a
Minnesota.
pick no matter what.
I believe I am next, and I definitely do have a wealth of options here. Ba 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 booey, ba ba booey, ba ba booey. I'm gonna take William Whitelaw. I think he is a really, really. Oh, he is actually a right wing. Whoopsie. Okay, I did it anyways. I can't. No take backs.
No takies.
No ticky backies. Okay, well you can get a center in the second round then, and have him center Kaprizov and Whitelaw. But yeah, he has really good production. Over or just at a point per game in the USHL. He's got really good production. I think he's super underrated. I really wouldn't be surprised if a team reaches for him in the first. Just, I guess it kind of depends on if there's nothing else that they like on their board. But yeah, he's a really good player. I think he's a sneaky one. I think he'll sneak up on people.
All right, Derek, you got Columbus.
I do have Columbus, and when you started saying centers, Leslie, I thought you were going to take him right away, but you didn't. You jumped to the second round, so you left me this sweet little gem. We got Nate Danielson going to Columbus, the 185-pound gem from Canada. Boy's been killing it in the WHL ever since he started there 3 years ago. So honestly, why wouldn't you want to pick this guy? Like, the Columbus Blue Jackets could use whatever they can get, let's be honest, and having a power center like him getting in the 23rd, I'd say that's a win-win for everybody at that point. Well, maybe not for Danielson, but I'd say Winnipeg would be pretty happy. JK, the Jets, I don't know why I said Winnipeg.
You're picking for Columbus, good buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened there in my mind.
That's what that logo is right there. That star with the American flag, that's the Blue Jackets logo.
Someone check Derek's heartbeat and pulse, please, real quick, just to see if he's alive. My goodness.
Yeah, can we get Megan come in and do a brain scan on you?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I haven't
Right.
heard something in my brain at all. Thank you, though.
Danielson is like, I guess he's okay. Yeah, I think he has good production right now. I kind of am questioning how much production he's going to have in the NHL. I think a guy like Anthony Cirelli is a good comparison to him. He has a good two-way game, but I don't really know about his production. I think he's a good middle six center though.
Yeah, honestly, I at this point, top second line, I would have to give him at most, so I can't be too excited about him. But at the same time, it's the Jets, so I'm not really excited about this pick anyways.
It's Columbus.
It's still Columbus.
It's Columbus.
Columbus Blue Jackets. Oh my God, why do I keep? I think I actually am having a stroke here, guys. I don't
All right,
know what.
we're moving on to the next pick because I can't listen to Derek talk anymore. All right,
The
New York
Columbus Blue
Rangers.
Jackets.
The New York Rangers are going to select. They were hoping Nate Danielson would be there. Alexei Lafreniere has not been working out for them. I think they might trade him, get what you can for him at this point, and just try again. And I think that they're going to try it with Callum Ritchie. There's your future 3C. He might end up being a 2C. Who knows? When I watched him at the World Juniors, he did good. Kind of just reminds me of like Veleno, just a two-way centerman, 200-foot player. Yeah, 3C, best 2C, so
I mean,
yeah.
not a bad player. You can't really be upset with him at that pick. So, I mean, obviously, we're going through all these picks. You really can't be upset with any of the first rounders. So,
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys down here in the 20s and even into the 30s, you're probably not going to get a guy who's going to be in your top six. And you never know, maybe they will. But Callum Ritchie is kind of just that guy who's not really great at one thing, but just really good at everything. He'll have a good two-way game, and I think when you're drafting a center prospect, you like him to just start with being a 200-foot player, and you can kind of teach him everything else, and hope everything else comes through development. Okay, so it's up to me now. We got the St. Louis Blues, and this one is probably going to be a little bit on the nose, but they're going to take Jaden Perron because they're probably missing Daddy P right now, and now they have an opportunity to take Baby P. So Jaden Perron, baby. I haven't even looked at his stats, but his last name is Perron, so that's who they're taking.
honestly, I'm not even going to judge that decision. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he's very undersized, and he looks like I have not watched this guy play. I'm going to throw it out there right now. I'm just solely going off of what I see on the page. He looks like he's going to be a good playmaking, what is he? Playmaking right wing. So, there you go. Yeah, maybe he'll play with Robert Thomas I think he's on the second line right now. So, probably a good winger for him.
If I knew more about him, I'd want to agree with you, but I truly just don't know.
So why
But
don't
it
you
looks
pick for the
like
Colorado Avalanche then, buddy?
I'm
Gross.
picking. Wait, I thought it was for San Jose.
I do not think so.
Oh, look, I might be a dummy. Am I behind? I am. Wait, where? Jesus Christ, I'm so behind. Colorado. Alrighty. What does Colorado even need, honestly, right now?
Nothing.
Well,
They
now they
deserve
need a center
nothing.
because they won't have Landeskog for another year.
That is very true. He is out for all next year, getting his kneecap scraped out and putting fake stuff in there to see if he can come back and play. I don't even know if he'll be back, honestly.
That sounds
Once you do that
gross.
to your knees like that, dude, it's just atrocious. You're a whole different person. Freaking dogs. But yeah, they need a center. You know what? If they need a center, we're gonna go just the biggest one that's left up on the board. Wait, I lost him. There he is. We're gonna go Samuel Honzek, 6'4", 185-pound center from Slovakia. Let's toss a big old boy in there to see him to mess up some stuff for the Colorado Avalanche, just because they don't have anyone big on their team anyways. Let's toss a big old fucker out there, replace Landeskog right now, and see what he can do. He doesn't have a bad track record, point prize, like I think last year. I mean, a little over a point per game player for the WHL. Nothing crazy, but at this pick, I kind of, nah. I say this is probably around where he would have gone anyways. Just a big boy that might be able to do some damage on the ice, at least scare some people. Maybe it'd be another Chara out there at some point. Just
For
tells you
those
what
of
he
you
wants.
watching, if you can confirm in the comments for us if he's a center or a winger, we would definitely appreciate that. So that
I
way
mean,
we
if
can
he's both,
move on to the next
Could be
pick,
both.
which is the Nashville Predators. Is that me? The Nashville
Yep,
Predators?
that is you.
You guys left me with no good picks, and that's okay. I don't want to pick a good pick
Oh,
for the
I
Nashville Predators.
I disagree,
you
buddy.
pick
You have a
28,
fantastic
good
pick right
luck.
there. A guy that I've been swooning over the entire episode.
The Nashville Predators are going to select Casper Haltinen.
Oh, I was gonna
Finland.
take him next. That's okay. I'm not upset.
Booming shot for this Finnish behemoth giant guy. Yeah. I saw
Only
a shot in the
6'3".
World Juniors and it was
Calm down.
disgusting.
Yeah, that is. This might be a little bit of a hot take. I'm not trying to say he's as good as Ryan Leonard, but Casper Holtonen outside of Ryan Leonard is the next greatest power forward winger in this draft. I mean, he is really underrated. I'm surprised he's all the way down here. He had a massive World Juniors tournament. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if this is a candidate at pick 18 or probably 17 for the Red Wings, depending on how that goes. He's really a good player. A lot of upside, a lot of stuff to love there. He has the size, he has the shot, which we need goal scorers. He'll probably projects to be a goal scorer. Yeah, that's a great pick. That's literally what I was going to pick for the Leafs right here.
Glad
Okay.
to rain on their parade.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not upset about that. If you could scroll up there for me, buddy boy. Well, okay. So I'm kind of surprised that Otto Stenberg is still there. So I'm going to take him. I really don't think he's going to fall this far. I honestly think he could be picked before the Red Wings pick at 17. I think he's just a total package. Like I've already said it, he had a massive tournament at the World Juniors. He was actually Sweden's captain. I've already said before he's Elias Pettersson light. So there you go. I think that's the steal of the draft right there if the Leafs can get Stenberg.
That is a good pick, actually. That was one guy I was looking at for not really my next one, but for honestly, just a good player in general. I'm going with that one. I wasn't picking him for anyone in the next 4 draft picks here.
All right, Derek, you got your second favorite team, the Vegas Golden Knights.
My boys, I would say they're just gems. They need nothing. They're just perfect the way they are, just like the Red Wings are. But let's be honest, they need some help out here somewhere in the world. So, uh, yeah, we're gonna go Caden Price here, going to my boys over in Las Vegas. Caden Price on D. Not a terrible player. I say a good playmaker in general. Just for as a D person, 40 points in 65 games WHL, 21 to 47, point every other game or more. I say he'd be a solid defense, puts the pucks back to where they need to go, finds the open guy. Not going to be a bad thing for especially a younger franchise like our boys over in Las Vegas.
To be honest with you, I know nothing about Caden Price. If you guys do, please let us know in the comments. Is this a good pick that Derek's making? Leslie, you got any ideas, bud?
I honestly barely know anything about him. He really hasn't been on my radar at all.
All right, so I picked for St. Louis, and so far they picked Zach Benson and Jaden Perron. I'm going to go Charlie Strammel. Another Swiss Army tool knife.
I'm
Big
not gonna
boy.
lie. I might have picked the D for St. Louis, or not a D, goalie for St. Louis, honestly. Get Bennington out of there.
Oh, wow. This kid is a brick shithouse. 6'3", 216. That's a big boy right there.
It's a big 18-year-old. I like it.
Man, CapFriendly does their rankings really strangely because I feel like there's some guys ahead of the guys we picked that kind of don't really move the needle at all.
When we get closer to the draft, they're going to change, and I think that they'll have other options on rankings that we can choose from. So
Okay.
let's just give it a couple more weeks here, and we'll probably end up doing another one. Like I said, so we'll probably do a couple more before the draft, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll definitely do a few more. I don't know how many, but we'll definitely do some more.
We got to narrow it down. Then we'll pick the one we want to go with, and we're going to say that's what the draft's going to be. And we're going to see how accurate we are, because I feel like our geniuses' minds here, I just said geniuses. I know I'm counterproductive myself, but I think we're super smart here, guys. So we're good to go. We got this.
See, the other thing about this mock is like after the Stanley Cup Finals, all these picks are going to change because the Leafs are down here at 30, which would mean they're in the conference finals. They're still 3 wins away from the conference finals. Everything's going to change, so we're kind of just going off what we have now. I think I'm up next with the Sharks.
correct.
Is that correct? All right. Can you scroll up because I don't remember who I took with the Sharks for the first pick.
The Sharks, they took Michkov.
Oh, interesting. Well, that kind of actually might influence me to go one way with this. I kind of feel like outside of Michkov, the Russian players in this draft are kind of wild cards because they didn't get a World Juniors to showcase their talents. So you're kind of picking them based off what they did in Russia, which it's kind of hard to really get a good eye on that league now at this point with everything going on. I think with San Jose taking a risk on Michkov, I wouldn't put it out the realm of possibility to do it again. I think they're going to take a massive scoring winger in the KHL. Actually, no, this guy is, yeah, he's in the KHL. Okay, they're going to take Daniil Boot, 6'5", 200-pound winger. I mean, you want size? Look no further than him. That's a really good option there. Yeah, that's a massive dude. And he's only 18, so probably could grow a couple more inches. So before you know it, they're going to have their own version of Elmer Soderblom in San Jose. Big butt Russian.
Big butt.
Daniil Booty.
Yeah, I mean, if they're already taking a risk on Michkov, take a risk on Danil Boot too. I'll call him Butt, but yeah. I think that's a fine pick for them. Yeah, they're kind of going away with the picks that are going to help them down the road, and yeah, they just want to keep being bad for as long as possible because those contracts that they got tied up, plenty of them are kind of
Not so great.
yeah, it's kind of keeping them in the murky middle, but more so the lower middle. So. All right, Derek, you're closing it out for us for the Carolina Hurricanes at pick number 32, buddy. Who is the last pick in our mock draft today?
Well, we're going with the team that probably doesn't need too much right now, honestly. It's Carolina. I mean, they're pretty stacked as it is. but I'm gonna go with a center on this one, and it's actually the one that the website I'm looking at gave offered to me, and I'm like, this is a pretty good pick. We're going Bradley Nadeau here for their 32nd overall. I cannot tell you what the BCHL really does or what kind of league that is, but when you throw up 113 points in 54 games, I think you're going to catch some attention from everybody on that one. And going 32nd, I wouldn't say too bad in the first round still.
Swinging
I
for the
think
fence.
I don't know a whole lot about the BCHL, but I think if it's anything like the WHL and the QMJHL, like all those junior leagues, they're really focused on scoring. It kind of seems like this is a scoring league since he put up literally in 54 games over 100 points, and in the playoffs put over 27 points, which is like 2 points per game. So, yeah, I would definitely, that would lead me to believe that it's a scoring league. Bradley Nadeau, it kind of seems like a Joe Veleno type player at that pick, where he put up a lot of points, and his ceiling is kind of in question, but that's your high upside guy. And when you're down there at 32, and assuming they're at 32, that's assuming they won the cup. So at that point, they don't really care who they get. But yeah, that's a good option there.
The fences, like Zach said on that one. It's like, let's see what this guy can do at this point, because it might be a win, maybe a loss. You don't really know.
Yeah, just let the boy skate, let's see if he can skate first, then we'll be the judge of what kind of player he can become. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how it works. Yeah, we got to see him skate, but can he work up to get to that point to even show that he can skate in the NHL? That's the toughest part right there. And then sticking in the NHL is the other next hard part that you got to do for the rest of your career for another 20 years. If you can play for 20 years, be the next Jaromir Jagr. His son just got drafted in the draft, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that when I sent that to you on Instagram. His son just got drafted. I think it's the OHL draft. I could be wrong. I can't remember.
Whose son?
Jagr.
Oh,
Jagr, sorry.
Both of you need your ears checked.
The 51-year-old Femon still skating, yes.
Do you think that the OHL is going to give him a special exception so he can play for son in the OHL? Could you imagine like a 54-year-old Jagr playing in the OHL against 17-year-olds?
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably travel up just to see that.
I'd pay some good money to see that.
Well, before we go too far off the brink, let's go ahead and close it off. Here's our mock draft.